As a business owner, entrepreneur, or offer owner, you can use first-person video games to your advantage when it comes to seeing what it's like for somebody to do business with you. So how can you use first-person advantage for your business, for growth, and for keeping clients? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about business, growth, opportunities, how your clients see you, and I'm coming to you live from Sacramento. All right, so this morning I had a client coaching call with somebody who has a service where people come to their office. And what they did was they grabbed their phone and they walked me through the office. So it was like, might as well have strapped it to their chest. And they showed me like step by step. This is the first station that they talk to. This is the next thing. And this is the next thing. And one of the items or the areas that was easily identified was the negative instant experience that somebody would have when they walked in and did business with this person. So we all get burned in business at some point. And so every notice that was on the counter and all the notices that were on the back wall were all super negative. If you cancel your appointment, right? If you do this, then that happens. So the first thing, I walk in the door, see the sign of the company. The next thing I see is all the negative things. All the negative. Can't do this, can't do that. Can't do this, can't do that. So we start with what's not possible. And so I asked the business owner, I said, if this was a billboard and you had anything that you could or should say to the client, do we start with negative or do we start with positive? Do we start with negative? And they were like, duh, we start with positive. And I said, so why is it that when you have a client that walks through the door, you got your logo, good job. And then the next thing you see is all super negative stuff. And they said, I'd never really thought about it that way. And I said, okay, so take me to the next station. So we did what you would do with a video game with a first person. They took their phone and they kind of just strapped it to their chest or held it to their chest just like this and walked me through their entire office. And what we did was we identified all the places that they had the ability to put a positive message, where they had the ability to pre-program or make a sale, and had the ability to reframe all their negatives into positives. So you're more likely, I learned this from Chris Voss, you're more likely to make a better decision in a positive frame of mind. So I said, where are all the opportunities for you to put something on the wall that's positive? Where are all the opportunities where you can put a message about your products, your service, your offers, or anything that you're making in a way that makes sense in a logical order? And you're like, hey, Scott, I got a service-based company. People don't come to me, we go to them. Well, you're going to use the same idea, strategy, process. You're going to take a phone or a GoPro and you're going to strap it to your chest and you're going to walk through and be in the first person role of your client. Yeah, if you're looking to grow your business, and you're planning on selling in the future, like this strategy works because you're getting to see what the client is like. So, like, hey Scott, I really do want to see what this is like. I'm 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years out from preparing to sell my business. What you do is you offer a client, a brand new client, a little bit of a discount to say, hey, listen, we would like to record this interaction so that we can make what we do better. And what we're willing to do is we're willing to give you a couple of bucks off in order for us to film this. And you're going to get people who tell you no. But you know what? There's going to be people who tell you, yes, you script this out. And the first time you say it, it may suck. The first time you say it, it may not work. But you want this first person view of, okay, I'm going to walk through the process and walk a mile in my client's shoes. Like this sales process, does it work? Does it not work? You know, how are my people treated? What are all the negative things that are thrown in there from the very beginning? Recently, 7-Eleven had a video on social media where they talked about one store outperformed all the other stores. So the executives from 7-Eleven went to the store and they tracked to see what was going down. Like, was it the signage? Was it the location? Was it whatever? They were like, we need to figure this out. And what it came down to is there was a woman who had worked there for 20 years and she literally knew everybody. She knew them by name. She knew their favorite drinks. And we're talking not like tens of people or hundreds of people, like thousands of people knew who this woman was because she was super friendly. And so I'm going to encourage you to think about like, hey, if I'm going to go through my business and I'm going to take a look and see what strategies I need to put in place, you're going to want to do it as a first viewer. Like, this is what the executives of 7-Eleven did. They walked in and they walked a mile in the shoes of their clients, and they flat out discovered it was the interaction of so they had an idea. They could take that and they could replicate it, and they could try to make it happen in other stores. When you walk through, you're not going to just see the negatives, you're going to see the positives as well. And you're going to see the opportunities for adding in better conversations, pre-programming or sales processes, questions, concerns, upsells, downsells, follow-up. Like, it's very enlightening. And so you're like, hey, Scott, how hard is this? Like, literally, you take a phone and put it in your pocket. Like, if you got a pocket, you can put it in your pocket, or you can literally go buy a rig and a GoPro. And a rig is a chest piece where the GoPro mounts to it, or you can get one it's a hat. And you can take that video and watch it. You could take the audio and scrub it through something like Otter AI and then put it through Claude or Perplexity or ChatGPT or Manus or like any of the favorite flavors that you may have of AI, and figure out like, what are the opportunities here? What's being missed? What was overstated? What was understated? But that first person view of having, like, I've got this cell phone, like, I'm holding it straight to the center of my chest. You can hold it to your chest and just walk through your business. Walk through one section of your business. Walk through one section of your sales process. But you absolutely positively want to see what your opportunities are. And the only way that you're going to do that is through some effort. And once again, you may have to pay some clients or give them some free upgrades. But the value that you're going to get from learning about these things will far outweigh any discount that you ever give or any money that you give off. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.